what's up, you guys? Welcome to Spot On. I'm your host, Eric Richardson, and today we have our first episode, MVP Talk. So right now in the MVP race, we have LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo. At the beginning of the season, it was a landslide. You know, Giannis is playing at a crazy high level right now, and his team had the best record in the league by far. LeBron James, he's been on the tear as well, leading the Western Conference, which is way stronger than the East, highest record. Now, let's just go ahead and take a look at these stats and roll those clips for me. Right now, LeBron James is averaging 25.7 points a game, 7.9 rebounds a game, 10.6 assists, shooting 49% from the field and 35% from the three. Now, I'm going to let you guys know, I'm not really a huge stats guy. Yeah, I know they're important, but I'm more of an eye test. I know exactly what I see. I watch these full games, and right now, LeBron is just on an absolute tear. If you round those numbers up, LeBron is averaging 26, 8, and 11, and leading his team to the best record in the West. Now, let's take a look at Giannis. He's averaging 29.6 points a game, 13.7 rebounds a game, 5.8 assists, shooting 54.7 from the field, and 30.6 from the three-point line. Now, if you round that up, that's 30 points a game, 14 rebounds a game, and 6 assists per game. I'm not gonna lie, that is dominant. Bottom line is this: LeBron James has been playing at an elite level his entire career, and right now it's year 17 and he's 35. Now, I know a lot of analysis out there are saying that you can't use this as a criteria when judging on who's the MVP. You know, that shouldn't be in the equation, but I'm not gonna lie. If you take away year 17 and his age, strictly look at the season he's having, he's leading the West. Now, in the past, LeBron has dominated the East. Narrative has always been, oh, the East is so weak. LeBron is only doing this against weak opponents. What is he going to do in the West? Now, last year, he got injured. We're not even going to count that. Even though the injury resulted in LeBron getting rest, LeBron is leading the Lakers to the #1 record in the Western Conference with really strong teams in the Rockets, you know, the Jazz, the Clippers, but the whole narrative has always been, what will he do in the West? Now he's finally doing it in the West, and now we're just completely overlooking it, saying, oh, Giannis is having one of the most dominant seasons in NBA history, his PER, all of that. I don't want to hear it. I don't like using that PER stat as the #1 motive for determining who's the MVP, because if we strictly look at stats, we could easily just pull up a stat sheet and just say, oh, this guy was the best player, let's just go ahead and give it to him. No, we have to look at, you know, their body of work throughout the whole season. And as of late, LeBron James has proven that he's the most valuable player. Look at all these games. The game winner on the Celtics, the huge game against the Pelicans. He just went on this weekend tear where he just completely dominated and showed that he's the best player. He went and guarded Giannis, he guarded Kawhi, beat the Bucks, beat the Clippers. He's eclipsing himself as the most valuable player this year. Now, when we talk about MVP, MVP stands for most valuable player. So I'm looking at who has the larger impact on their team. Now, the Bucks, they're really dominant with Giannis on the floor. When he goes to the bench, they're still pretty dominant. But the Lakers, when LeBron leaves the bench, let's be honest, they're terrible. Even with Anthony Davis just looks like, I mean, he has a few games where he goes off when LeBron's on the bench, and specifically against the Bucks and Clippers, he had huge games, which, you know, helped LeBron. But other than that, when LeBron goes to the bench, the Lakers look terrible. Their plus-minus differential is horrible. So when I'm just looking at, you know, body of work, who's impacting their team, I'm gonna go with LeBron. Now, even though Giannis is on a complete tear this year, averaging 30 and 14, 6 assists, I'm just going to say this. 11 assists a game is really difficult. And he's still managing a way to get 8 boards, even with JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, and Anthony Davis. So that's just showing that LeBron James is involved in a high rate just overall in the game. Also, if you look at these Lakers games, they're always close games at late. You're gonna go with LeBron late game situation or Giannis. I trust LeBron. Every single game that the Lakers have been playing in and is tight, things are getting tough, they seek LeBron. He's going to make the right decision at the right moment every single time. Even though some analysis out there are saying that, oh, he's shying away, he shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that, LeBron James has the highest IQ in NBA history. He always makes the right play. So when I'm just thinking about the MVP, who you need in clutch situations, you need a bucket, you need that right pass, you need that right play, I'm going with LeBron James. Giannis, he's dominant. Most of these games has been blowouts for the Bucks. So, when it's clutch situations, we don't know how Giannis is going to do. Last year, Giannis, he folded in the playoffs. We don't know, but who we do know, who has a proven track record? LeBron James. Every single late game situation this season, LeBron has showed up and showed out. There's been a few games where the plays he made, his teammates just didn't hit the shot. That's why it's called a make or miss lead. But LeBron James, he has the highest IQ. He's always going to make that right play. But bottom line is, when it comes to MVP, LeBron James is our MVP for the NBA this season. When you just look at year 17, age 35, the points he's putting up, 26, 8, and 11, shooting 35% from the three, which isn't too bad, 50% from the field, 70% from the free throw line, first in the West. Who knows what could happen? We got 19 games left. If the NBA cancels these games, if they continue these games, LeBron has 19 more opportunities to get his stats up, get his team's record up, and if he can eclipse the Bucks as the #1 team in the NBA, it's a done deal. Now I'm gonna say this: the MVP hasn't always been the player with the best stats or even the best player that season. When you look back at Derrick Rose, when he won the MVP, he was the youngest MVP in NBA history. The NBA had to present a narrative. Derrick Rose is an upcoming player, and they wanted him to be the face of the NBA. Now, due to his injuries, that scenario didn't work out. LeBron James could have easily won MVP that year. It's all about a story. It's all about a narrative. It's all about bringing in more fans to watch the game. The NBA will miss LeBron James when he's no longer playing. So right now, like my boy Kendrick Perkins always says, let's give him the flowers while he can smell them. LeBron James, he deserves MVP this year. He's been on an absolute tear, and if you look at all the milestones he's been reaching and surpassing, he passed Kobe in points. Rest in peace his soul, but LeBron James is just having a dominant season this year, even if you take away his age. So I just believe that the MVP is definitely going to go to LeBron. The NBA has to create that story, has to create that narrative, and what better way than to give it to LeBron? He's going to win the regular season MVP, he's going to win the finals MVP, they're going to win the finals, and it's just going to be a great year. If you guys love watching the NBA and just hearing my take on it, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me and like it as well.